Yeah, it's J Buzz bigging up 88.5 Super FM. Anytime we sign in, we not sign out. Large, Maddy, Maddy.
Welcome to Youth Voices with your host, Miss Edisa Eugene, where we focus on youth advocacy, youth empowerment in academics, entrepreneurship, sports, marginalized youth, and more. Tune in every Thursday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Youth Month 2022. Devant ensemble et toute jeunesse. Evolve. Growing youth for an inclusive and transformed society. Are you ready? When I look at where I'm coming from, I know I'm blessed, and I close my eyes and smile. Sometimes I feel like the richest man in Babylon, and I've done my best, so everything's alright inside. Oh, every morning, I rise, I stare at the sun. I know it is a blessing. When I look at where I'm coming from, I know I'm blessed, and I close my eyes and smile. Sometimes I feel like the richest man in Babylon, and I've done my best, so everything's alright inside. Nice. Good afternoon again, and welcome to another episode of You Voices. I am your host, Miss Edisa Eugene, and it's definitely another pleasure to be back in studio with you today. Of course, welcome to those of you viewing us on Facebook, both on our 88.5 pages and the Youth Voices platforms. Good afternoon to you. And to those of you listening to us via radio, good afternoon to you as well. Of course, this afternoon show is mainly focused again towards our young women in the beautiful island of St. Lucia. And of course, last week we started with a young lady by the name of Miss Nia Peter, who has been doing some great work in art. And this afternoon is definitely no different as we continue to celebrate our young women in Soufre. We are beginning with the young women in Soufre. And this afternoon I have a lovely young lady by the name of Miss Biann Best in studio with me this afternoon. And so I want to take some time, to just welcome Miss Best and say a huge thank you to you for making time to join us this afternoon. So, how are you, Miss Best?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm great, Miss Edisa Eugene.
I want you to just go ahead right now and let the people know who you are.
Okay, like Edisa Eugene stated, I'm Biann based, currently studying agriculture entrepreneurship at Salford Lewis Community College. Also, I'm the part-time apprentice on the Helen's Daughters Hotel Chocolat Farm.
Okay, nice. And of course, we see that you are definitely different than a lot of young ladies in our community. You are into agriculture, right? And this is
Yes,
something that a lot of young persons on a whole shy away from.
right.
Now, let me just commend you. Let me just commend you that you have been doing some great work. We see you all over social media, and of course, stemming from the beautiful community of Soufre. This is something that we can say lies within our hearts, agriculture.
Right.
And so, knowing too that you have roots from the community of Foss and Jack, which is also known for persons being involved in agriculture, I must say that it is nice to see that you two are continuing in that same line.
Right, right.
So, despite the fact that you are from the community of Fort Saint Jacques, or maybe have roots from the community of Fort Saint Jacques, what else would you say inspired you to be somebody who decided to go into the line of agriculture?
Okay, well, I grew up in a rural community of Baden, Forsejak, like you mentioned earlier, where my grandparents were farmers. And from there, I saw that, I have an interest in agriculture. My grandmother used to sell the produce while my grandfather would do the tedious task on the farm. Sometimes I'd go to the market with my grandmother. She said once that she first saw a vendor in me, and I'm like, agriculture, agriculture. And to make it worse, COVID came, and you see how people would flood the supermarkets looking for produce, things to eat and whatnot. And I'm like, yes, definitely, it's definitely agriculture. So I developed an interest in agriculture. My grandparents, from my grandparents,
Okay, nice. So basically, they were the ones who really inspired
inspired me.
you to
Yes,
enter agriculture. So,
right.
knowing again that you were young, and then she mentioned the part about seeing a vendor in you. By that statement, would you say that you maybe felt bad, or maybe for somebody like I'm going to school for how many years and a vendor you want me to become? How did you feel by that statement?
Well, to be honest, I didn't feel any way about it. I mean, I grew up in it. She used to be by the market, and I'm like helping her, selling, passing around. Tomatoes $5 and whatever. And I'm like, yeah. I didn't find anything strange, or it wasn't a problem for me. I didn't see anything wrong in it.
Great. And so with that too, a lot of persons I would say they're not so confident when it comes to selling produce, and a lot of persons feel embarrassed. I can see. At any time being a young lady again, knowing that sometimes it's so hard to get customers, did you feel the need to maybe just take a step back, or you just kept on going?
No, I mean, one thing I live by is to never give up.
Nice.
People can bash you, people can say, Beltima Michael say by agriculture, whatever, whatever. No, I didn't feel any way about it. So, I mean, never give up. Just like, continued, and yeah.
Okay, nice. And thank you so much, Bian, for sharing that. And it definitely shows the trend and how you continued. So first it started from the time that you were young, because
Yes.
your grandparents inspired you. And with that you continued. And I know that you are from an agricultural background.
Right.
So it definitely shows that you are truly interested.
Yes, I am.
Now, knowing that, again, a lot of young persons shy away from agriculture today. What do you think what are some of the reasons why you think that they shy away?
Well, I'll talk about women. They shy away because there's that stereotype where it's men supposed to be doing that hard work and all that stuff. And I believe they don't see the how would I say the opportunities in agriculture. So they go to business and all of those things. And
Right?
yeah, I think that's the main reason why. And there are not so many opportunities out there for people in agriculture. So I think that's something we should be working on. I mean, I'm starting off, so
Yes.
why not continue and
I
try and
was
make it?
definitely about to ask you, what are some of the opportunities so far?
Um, well, being part of Helen's Daughters, I've seen many, many, many opportunities. I'm just recently I became a member, and I'm like already working on the farm. That's an opportunity for me.
Right.
Um, there are other stuff they do to help women in agriculture, and if we get more organizations like that, then
Right.
people will see the importance, or they'll want to come into that sector.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, knowing that you just mentioned Helen Daughters, now I know a lot of persons might be curious as to who is Helen
Helen's.
Daughters and what do they do. So, mind giving us a little insight as to who they are?
Well, Helen's Daughters is a non-profit organization that empowers women in agriculture. Um, they do stuff like farm visits and health and wellness fairs and so much more. But yes, Helen's Daughter is a non-profit organization that empowers women in agriculture.
Okay. And I love the fact that you took your time to repeat empowers women in agriculture, because definitely
Yes.
it's Women's Month. So I really love the fact that, of course, you are here to share with us about Helen's Daughters empowering our young women. So, how did you become part of Helen's Daughters?
Well, in my final year at Super Compre, I attended Super Comprehensive Secondary, and there was an internship program, apprenticeship program. And although I was not of age, I was like, I should try. I remember um I was interested in agriculture before that, and I'm like, here's an opportunity. I can go for it. I can see if I can be part of it, become a member, and whatnot. And I did. So that's how I got to know about Helen's Daughters through the apprenticeship program.
Okay.
Yes.
And a little quick question. It kind of takes us away from what we're discussing right
Hmm.
now. But how does it feel to be a pretty girl and a girl who deals with murder?
Mud?
Yeah.
Why do people think farming, not farming, I see agriculture is solely on
Mud,
mud,
right?
boots, wearing your boots, having a cutlass? No, it's not.
Tell us more.
Um, there are different aspects in agriculture. There's the farming aspect where people think, oh, it's all about farming and boots and everything. There is the technology aspect. You can speak to people about stuff. It's not always about the mud and all of that. What people think it is. Um, but you said what? How does it feel? It doesn't feel any. any. I mean, I grew up in it, so I wouldn't have a problem. I wouldn't feel any way.
Okay.
I
I'm just curious because, of course, I'm pretty sure the Biann that I'm seeing in studio right now is not the Biann I would be seeing on the farm.
exactly.
Exactly. So I was just a bit curious as to,
No, it
how does
doesn't.
it feel?
No
Uh,
way, no way at all.
okay.
Normal.
I'm just a little curious. So, Bian, of course, with you being in agriculture for so long,
Hmm.
and you would have known again some of the issues that surround just the agricultural sector.
Hmm.
What are some of these issues that you wish to highlight this afternoon?
Um, I'll take Helen's Others as an example. You know, there's a dry season and the wet season. Now
Right.
we cannot control that. We cannot control that. They took up the initiative to have water tanks given to the members. So that's an issue lying in agriculture. You never know. You cannot control this kind of stuff.
Yes.
So that's one. What's again? What's again? What's again? You said issues, right?
Right.
What other issue I can think of? Oh, land.
Right.
A lot of farmers do not own land, and I'm not sure if I'm the right person to say this, but I mean the government should try a little more, or try looking for ways in which people can
Acquire
obtain,
land.
right.
Yeah, I
Yes.
agree. And I, on that note, while you're
Mm-hmm.
sharing this, I believe there is a lot of land around, just lying
Lying
around the
around.
place,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe it could be put up so
Yes,
persons
for use
could
there.
then maybe too, even though we say put it out there, persons, we need to ensure that it's affordable to
Right.
our agricultural persons.
Right. Also, you find people don't want to go into agriculture because of pretty larceny,
Right.
where people steal their produce, or steal their livestock, and they need security. Now, not everybody will be able to have security on their farm.
Right.
So that's another issue. I said climate, I said land, and pretty larceny. What else can I think of? Right, I don't think I can think of anything right now.
Okay, so what about I know maybe not now.
Hmm.
Um what do you think about trade and exports when it comes to agriculture so far?
um I feel like our banana industry has failed.
Mm-hmm.
We used to export, sorry, loads and loads of banana. Now I'm seeing all the banana dying. What's happening?
So
So I mean, if we have farmers where we can find people who focus solely on one
right.
or two, or crop rotation kind of, that would be good for St. Lucia.
And I think we need to try and form some better linkages as
Right.
well.
very like it would be good for St. Lucia, like that import bill and all that. Like it's not necessary. We are an island where we can plant our own thing and grow what we choose to eat and not import stuff like let me see something they import we can grow here. I can't even think of anything.
I want to say carrots. I am tired of seeing
Oh,
imported
oh
carrots.
yes. Oh yes, that's things we can grow. Yeah, so I feel like we can work on that. Find people who want to grow a specific crop and
Right.
buy from them locally instead of importing all them unnecessary chemical thingy. Yes.
I get you. So now while we're on the line of basically providing some solutions, I want to ask you though, what do you believe that maybe the government of St. Lucia could do in order to improve and boost our agricultural sector in St. Lucia?
I think I mentioned earlier some I think they should get some groups or some I don't know.
Some new channels.
Yes, in ways people can become interested in agriculture. So I think that's it for now.
In terms of education, what do you think could be better? Because I realize you have a lot of persons who are into agriculture, but a while ago you mentioned crop rotation. I'm pretty sure somebody listening might not even know
What
what is
crop
crop
rotation? I'm
rotation.
so sorry.
So I believe too maybe the government of St. Lucia could try to put something in place where they educate
People, right?
persons about the different aspects of agriculture. Even in our school curriculum, I think we need to broaden the minds of our students because, like you mentioned a while ago, agriculture is not based just on mud.
Right.
But a lot of persons, when you tell them, I'm going to study agriculture, behind their head, it's like, just go
Yeah.
pour savle fek lavo. But at
I
the
can
same
remember.
time, agriculture have money. A lot of people don't know that.
They
I'm
don't know
proud
that.
to be a country girl.
Same.
Agriculture has a lot of money because while, like Biann mentioned, there is the farming part, there is the technology
Technological
part.
part.
That is way more money, you know. So imagine somebody like you just have to go into a farm and
Give some advice.
give some advice, or just to check to see if the pig is okay to
Yes.
cut. That is
Or
agriculture, you know.
find to sorry and go on the farm to find out what's wrong with that crop. It has a disease. What kind of disease does it have?
Imagine that's your
That's
nine to
money.
five job. You just walking through a whole
People farm.
plantation and check it. Like I believe that is something that, and again, persons are not open minded about it. So I'm happy beyond that you are here this afternoon to not only inspire us women, but us as a nation entirely to see that agriculture is not something that we should look down
Down
on,
on.
especially St. Lucia. I have always been one of those with the issue where I find tourism, we focus too much on
On tourism.
tourism. Let me tell you, I I am not supposed to say this though, but I wish for the day that we will have no more cruise ships and see where we will fall back.
But
Because
we
I
need a
think
plan B.
we have forgotten about agriculture, and so that too have impacted us. Even during the COVID-19 pandemic, we saw it.
Right, we saw it.
You see how a lot of persons, and that is evident, where everybody lost their jobs. Everybody who believed farming was not a job, you saw them at the
Become
market, right?
exactly
Let me tell you.
with the
With Aki's
all
$1,
day.
plums $2. And I was like, eh. But to me, you used to
You
laugh at me when I used to come and
sell
sell
my
for my
little
mother. Papi show me for avocado. Oh, now you understand the hustle. So I think all of that too shows that we need to include and not just include agriculture and everything, but we need to boost that sector a
that's
little more. So I'm hoping this afternoon that our authorities are listening and they're
hopefully
taking note. And not just that, even our persons in the private sectors do maybe looking out to see what they could do to assist um the
people
nation
interested.
when it comes to agriculture. So Bian, thank you so much because if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't even understand that there were different aspects of agriculture this afternoon.
Oh, no problem. I mean, that's why I'm here.
So, knowing again that there are different aspects,
Mhm.
which one would you say that you are solely interested in?
Well, solely the technical part of it, but I try to balance it off because my career path is within that technical part.
Mind telling us what that is?
Uh, um, my career path in agriculture is an extension officer. I'm looking forward to becoming SUFRE or Region 6 extension officer.
Michael, put it out there so that military can hear you. Why are you afraid?
Yes. And before I used to say, oh, I will do the plants part of it because I love plants. But now that I'm in Safa and I'm seeing it's not all about the plants to me, I like the animals too.
Right.
And I'm everywhere. Like, should I do the plants? Should I do the animals? But yeah, an extension officer. Um, and you said I forgot what you say. Did you ask me?
Yeah, you basically answered because I asked you which part are you solely interested in, and you said you prefer the balance, although it's the
Yes.
technology part. And I totally understand that.
Mhm.
And of course, I only wish that as you continue on your line of work,
Mhm.
um, that you continue to remain determined and focused in order to
Yes,
become
I will.
our extension officer. I mean, we
Most
need
definitely.
more ladies in the forefront. Too many
Yes.
times we believe women
Oh
cannot
man,
hold a
everything is
little
man, man.
pickaxe, so women cannot bend down, and these
Yes.
little jobs that good for us. The moving of the grass. Let me tell you, the moving of the grass alone, they like us within with our hands. It's not even a cutlass.
Or cutlass,
A
yes.
cutlass. They like
Yes.
us holding,
I can't
So-
understand. They say that's sharp objects. You
Some
cannot be using them
objects,
sharp
yeah,
objects.
let me tell you, but don't mind them. A lot of persons, even some males in the room next to us right now, don't mind them. They don't handle a cutlass,
Right.
but they like to look down on us women. So don't worry, I'm happy that you will be one of those to prove them wrong.
Right, definitely, especially the one next to us.
So, of course, again, good afternoon, everyone. To those of you just joining us, I have Miss Biann Best in studio with me this afternoon. Another young woman from the community of Fort Saint Jacques Soufre. And to be specific, she wants me to say Boaden, Fort Saint Jacques.
Yes.
And so it is nice to see that she is in studio with us this afternoon. Great discussion so far. Of course, she's telling us all about herself and how much she's involved in agriculture and the love that she has for it, something that a lot of us shy away from. So, to those of you just joining us, of course, stay tuned. There is so much more to learn about Miss Biann Best. And so, right now, we'll just take a quick break. And then, when we return, you'll learn a little more about Miss Biann Best.
Even if they fight you down, tell them still I rise, still I rise, still I rise. Yeah, it's J Bus bigging up 88.5 Super FM. Anytime we sign in, we not sign out. Large, man.
My mommy protected me and my little nephew when she got vaccinated.
My doctor is protecting me. She's vaccinated.
My aunt protected me when she got vaccinated.
COVID-19 vaccines are available for people from the age of 12 years and older. Being vaccinated against the virus does not only protect you, it also makes our country safer for those who cannot receive the vaccine.
Vaccinate for you, for yours, for us.
.5 Sufra FM presents Let's Connect every Tuesday from 5:30 p.m. with your host Reniata D'Souza. Also live on Facebook. Be sure to tune in as we present you with updates on local activities, events, businesses, initiatives, and upcoming opportunities for all. Let's connect. Every Tuesday, right here on Super FM and online. Don't miss it.
I'm Genevieve Gonzague, and I've spent the past 2 years working the beat as a television news reporter at a national level. But my heart remained in Soufrière. Now, I'm bringing the spotlight to you in the Super FM news package. Join me every weekday at 1 p.m. for news that matters to you. We're covering the Southwest region like never before. I'm Genevieve Gonzague, and these are your headlines.
I go by the name of Miguel Daisy. Stage name, Energy Buzz, radio name as well. What is different about my show is that it is full of energy, like my name says it all. Full of vibes. My show basically starts from 2 to 6 on a daily, Monday to Friday, Saturdays, weekly 2 to 6. It's called the Energy Drive. What it entails is like I like to introduce people to new music. I like to educate them on the artists as well, what's new, what's trending in the musical industry. Right now we're 12 years in the making, and we as a team look to get bigger and stronger. I've just been doing music my entire life. I don't know anything else but music. So I could say music saved my life as well. So tune in to Super FM every single weekday from Monday to Friday. With me, yours truly, Energy Buzz with the Energy Drive. You see, I'm so super excited. So this is the excitement that I want to share with you guys. So make sure you tune in to Super FM 88.5 with yours truly, Energy Buzz, 2 to 6 from Monday to Friday. Saturdays it fluctuates. You can either catch me from 9 a.m. or from 1 p.m. Alright, so make sure, share the love.
Welcome to Youth Voices with your host, Miss Edisa Eugene, where we focus on youth advocacy, youth empowerment in academics, entrepreneurship, sports, marginalized youth, and more. Tune in every Thursday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Youth Month 2022. Devant ensemble et toute jeunesse. Evolve. Growing youth for an inclusive and transformed society. Are you ready?
When I look at where I'm coming from, I know I'm blessed, and I close my eyes and smile.
Hey, and welcome back. Of course, we're continuing with Miss Biann Best. So, Biann, somebody is curious and they want to know about some of the tools that you personally handle. So, tell us a little about the tools and equipment that you handle.
Okay. Cutlasses. Okay, let me start off by saying I've done some work on the farm, the South Sea farm in Dennery, and we've used tools such as cutlasses and hand spades and the garden forks and all the tools
You just carry
need.
the garden fox? I just want to know because I know it's kind of pretty heavy.
No, I didn't carry the garden fork.
Instead, you take the little credit and make people believe you.
Well,
okay.
a male in my group did carry the garden fork.
Okay,
To be
that's
honest.
that's good.
Yes,
At
but I
least-
used it. I have some images here I can show y'all. Anyways, that's for another show. Mostly other tools people use in agriculture for plowing, for what did we use the tools? Plowing. We didn't use any tools to harvest. Yeah, that's basically.
And which part is your favorite part? Is it the harvesting part or the planting?
The harvesting part.
But why though?
I mean, I'm ready to eat what I grew.
Okay.
So yeah, the harvesting part.
Okay, makes sense. Of course, these were two questions from persons who are viewing us online.
Mm-hmm.
So I really wanted to give them the answers. So I'm
No
hoping that
problem.
the curious male, it was actually a male. I don't know why they wanted to know about the equipment. They don't believe you. Again, you see, they like to look down at women.
Right.
You check it. But of course, I'm happy that you were able to provide him with some answers. And just to put it out there that a garden fork is pretty heavy, and Biann was able to carry a garden fork.
No.
So
Use
big
it.
up you.
Never carried a
I
cheese.
used it.
Even
Well,
better,
it-
my girl. Even
Yeah.
better, because I'm pretty sure the guy maybe just
Drop
drag
that
it.
day.
Exactly, and you have to pick it up and
And-
push that.
Yeah, it was very
maybe
tedious.
how hard to wasn't moist. Girl, I'm
Oh.
telling you, right?
That first plot we had was terrible. When I say terrible, I
That's
feel
a
like,
fun part of it.
whew.
Okay, so yes, Biann, again, thank you for providing our meal with his answers. And so this brings me to another question, though. Knowing again that agriculture has not been boosted
Mhm.
on an island-wide basis, on a community basis, knowing that Soufre is all about vegetation, how do you believe that we could go about boosting it in our community?
I would advise our farmers to not use so much fertilizer in their produce and whatnot. Also give other people an opportunity. So you have a farm, don't do all the work on your farm. Find some workers. I'm not saying that people have money to pay them, but try something.
Nowadays, people work for money and not for work.
Pardon?
Nowadays, you barely find people that want to plow the land.
Well, that's
That is true. So now we would have to think of ways to spark their interest.
If you want the money, you have to do the work. Basically, because you cannot tell me you want money and you there skylarking, you all over the place, you just there running your mouth somewhere with a friend and you want the money, you have to do the work.
Right.
So, like you said a little earlier, agriculture has money, and in order for you to receive that money, for you to get that money, have it and say, I have come amount of money. Do the work.
Right.
Do the hard work.
And I think to your list, I would want to add, as a community, I believe we need to educate persons a little more.
Yes.
Again, in Soufre, we have Learn Line everywhere.
Everywhere.
And good soil. We have some good soil in Soufre.
Oh yes, we
I
did
mean,
some soil sampling and wow.
And
Very
Soufre,
fertile soil.
especially on that side, I don't know if that's the west of Soufre, I don't know. But there is this good soil, and I think that is why you get the best dashing coming from that side. So again, persons need to be educated about just agriculture on a whole, and within our school curriculum. Yes, I know that we teach persons about agriculture, but we don't really get them
It's not-
interested.
yes.
Like we just give them that
A
small bit of information. So I think that is something that we need to invest in when it comes to education.
And I think it should be included in the primary school, like on a primary school basis, a level.
I agree.
Because I got agriculture at Soufre Compre. And some children has pets, and do they know how to take care of their pets?
Right.
The pets are animals. Animals, you get that under agriculture, livestock. So it should be included in the, or how do you call it, syllabus?
Right.
Whatever
right.
it is.
Yeah,
It should
I
be.
totally agree with that suggestion. So I'm hoping again that our persons in charge are listening, and that could be recommended, because I think it would be a good start. Our students would be able to start somewhere, because even right now you get a lot of students who are not pretty interested in the norm. When I say the norm, before you had a lot of parents who wanted their kids to become nurses and doctors, and a lot of persons are moving away from that now.
Yes.
And we've including the CBQ programs and everything. I believe that agricultural part of it should be designed, because a
think
lot
so
of
too.
persons want to go into that. I could tell you this much, because there was a specific school that I taught at, and there was this specific student. He is a little troublemaker, but I believe he knew what he wanted, because that was my way of having him to settle. At lunchtime, I did casual talk. I tell him, come. He sat next to me. He's like, Miss, what you want? I don't even what I want. Come and talk to me. I was pretty nice. Although I was upset, I was pretty nice. And then I asked him, what would you like to become? And he told me, a bushman. So I tell him, what's a bushman? And he started to describe the role of a farmer. Then I told him, no, it's not a bushman, it's a farmer. And then I tell him, but why do you want to become a bushman? I'm speaking in his language. And then again, he points out that it has a lot of money and he don't want to buy things from people. He don't want to leave his home to go in supermarkets. And I, he said that. And inside of my heart, I was laughing, not at what, he said, is the way he said it. Because what he's saying, it made sense. If I have land and I have the talent and I am interested, why not go out there and grow what I want to eat? I have no reason going to the supermarket. And like we point out a while ago, a lot of persons, if they were doing that during COVID-19, nobody would be crowding the supermarket for a little bit of rice. You're telling me now y'all can get sugar. All of a sudden, everybody know what honey is, right? Everybody want honey. Everybody want honey. All of a sudden, nobody know browning. Everybody want to burn sugar. Right? So again, you see, I
Yes.
think it's a matter of persons being educated, and with that, I do agree that it needs to be implemented into our primary school syllabus. Let's start them from the time they're young and get them interested. So
Yes, most definitely.
I definitely agree with you, Biann. So thank you so much for that.
No.
Okay, so while moving on again, we know that there are persons that are not interested in agriculture at all because they believe Sase Bagay Maliwe. So, if you were standing on a stage where your audience were persons of that nature, what would you have said to them?
I mean, you cannot force anybody to like something they don't like.
Right?
But one thing I can say is that agriculture has a lot of money.
Right?
And if you're somebody who likes money, just try something in agriculture. I'm not saying go solely into it or say that's your I doing that alone. You
Right.
can you can have your farm on the side and still have your job, your career, whatever you want, whatever you're interested in
Right?
on the other side. So yes, it has a lot of money involved. You have to spend money, obviously, but you can make a lot of money as well. So that's the main thing I can see right now. It has money. So the people that don't like agriculture just know it has
You're
money.
missing out. Plain and simple, you're missing out.
Exactly.
And I think something else you need to point out is that agriculture has opportunities for you to make US dollars. You'll forget that when the money reaches a good 2.7, so you
Yes.
confirm that you're a little millionaire.
Yes, yes.
So, you might want your produce to go out of St. Lucia. So if you take your time to invest in it, you get benefited at the end. You get to see the benefits. You get to enjoy them. So
Yes.
don't sleep. If you know you can plant, if
Don't
you know you
sleep.
have land, if you don't want to be the one taking charge of the land, hire somebody.
Higher.
Right?
Give somebody
Hire somebody, give
a job.
somebody a chance to make a living.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is something else that I would love you to share while you're on stage.
Yes. Add something as an sleep. Yes, like you were saying, give somebody else the job. So if you okay, like you don't have the money to start off your own farm, find a way to get a loan. Like I was saying earlier, the government need to put something like that in, a certain amount of money.
Right?
People can take loans from and say, okay, I'm starting my my farm, and I need this amount of money, and the government might say, okay, we're giving a loan of this amount of money, and you can start your farm. So that can be something they can look into, loans. Also, I'll say something I forget.
That's fine. You can have time. Just
Think
take your
of
time.
the loans. I was saying something else.
Well, in the meantime, while you're thinking, we can
Yes.
maybe move to the next question and when
Come back to that question.
no problem. So, of course, you have persons who are not interested, but at the same time, you have young persons, especially women, who really want to go into agriculture, but they're shying away from it because of the way that agricultural persons are stereotyped. Knowing that, of course, they have the talent and they really want to go into it, what would you say to these young persons in order to motivate them to remain focused?
I can say one thing: join Helen's Daughters, guys. This organization has helped me, and I think it can help you as well. So join Helen's Daughters. Just don't be shy. If anything, and you need some more information about it, come speak to me. Tell me, hey, I need to know who's the founder. I need to know this. I need to know how it's operating. Just contact them on find them on their Instagram page, email them, whatnot. Get to Helen's Daughters. Find Helen's Daughters.
So, as you just mentioned that they're on social media, by what name?
Helen's Daughters.
Okay, Helen's Daughters. And just for the sake of some of us, mind just spelling out Helen. I know we can spell daughters. Just the Helen part.
HELEN apostrophe S.
Okay, so Helen's Daughters. Okay, so of course, Biann is putting it out there for us young women, because you said it's solely for women,
right?
Us young women who are interested in agriculture and we wish to continue in that line, take advantage of it. Join Helen's Daughters. I've been hearing a lot about Helen's Daughters. And so you need to get into the know for yourself if you're interested. So go ahead and follow them on Instagram. They also have Facebook, right? And of course, on there you would be able to get other contact information such as telephone number as well as their email address. So feel free to get yourself involved and get yourself involved, right? And so, as we are coming down with time, Biann, there are two more questions that I wish to ask you.
Go ahead.
One of which I would like to know, where do you see yourself in the next 20 years when it comes to agriculture?
Like I mentioned earlier, Region 6 Extension Officer. Yes, that's where I see myself. I'm not doubting it. That's where I want to be, and that's where I'm working to be.
In the next 20 years, in the next 20 years, I mean, for me, I see you there in the next 5 years. That's me. In the next 20 years, I expect you to tell me that you'll be the press secretary or the.
I never look so far.
No, my girl, you have to look far because, come on, no, you cannot, just limit yourself because you know you have the potential to control everything.
That's right.
So you have to try and speak into existence. But I love the fact that you focus on becoming your extension officer.
Once I get that first, then I can see, okay, I'm moving up. Probably the next Minister of Agriculture. You never know.
No, of course, represent. But that is excellent, Biann. And again, while you see yourself there, I'm hoping that as you continue to climb up the ladder, that you remain focused, that your interests will continue to get better. And it won't basically just go down the drain. Because sometimes when you grow, you tend to get tired of the same old thing. So I'm hoping that you would be my extension officer for Region 6 because I might need some help with some plotting of learn and some advice and free consultation. So I'm hoping that you would be able to be the best person that I could come to during that time.
Most definitely. You say me there.
Definitely. And so, again, there is somebody in the room, a male individual in the room. Now, I'm not sure if he has any questions for you. He usually has questions for my ladies.
Any questions for me?
Any questions for my ladies this afternoon?
No, not really. No, not really. I'm just enjoying the fact that the young female like her is so into agriculture. I like that kind of fact.
Okay, so our male in the room doesn't have questions for you this afternoon. That is excellent, Biann.
Yes, gifts today.
So, as again, we are coming down in time, just one more question, Biann. Well, not really a question, but I am going to give you that opportunity now to just big up a few persons who have helped you throughout your agricultural path so far.
Okay. Before I do that, I want to tell people interested in agriculture to pursue it. Do it. If you feel like that's what you want to do it.
Right.
Don't shy away and say, hey, bye, Tessa, Masa. Do it. Just do it. But a few big ups I'd like to big up Miss Kiflin Carew, the founder of Helen's Daughters. I mean, she has brought me to where I am right now.
Right.
Also, Miss Genevieve Gonzaga, my little cheerleader. My mom, my everybody, my family, everybody who's encouraging me, who's motivating me and telling me, don't give up. You have it. Continue it. Do it. All the positive it's. Yes. And Miss Edisa Eugene, big up you one time because I mean, you brought me here today. Yes, that's basically who I like to big up this afternoon. And big up 88.5. Yes.
Okay. So thank you so much, Biann, for taking time, of course, to come here this afternoon to speak to us all about agriculture. And it is nice to see that young women are interested in agriculture. It makes my heart feel even better because, of course, I love to see when women handle heavy equipment, heavy tools. It shows that power, and
It's not all about the men.
Yeah, we don't. You don't need that all the time. So I really like the fact, Biann, for a pretty girl, again, a pretty girl, you know when to switch it up. So again, you have been doing your thing from the time that you were young, and this afternoon I just want to encourage you again to keep on doing what you do, remain focused, and as you continue in that journey, I want you to just keep on inspiring those around you to get involved, get active, get up and do something. If you feel like you are unable to maybe run the piece of land, get persons, hire somebody, but let's boost it together. And as you said, let us pursue. As you go out this weekend, to all of you, I want you to remember that Biann Best reminded us that we should pursue. So, to those of you again tuned in this afternoon, I want to say a huge thank you to you for joining us this afternoon, both those of you listen to us via radio and logged in online via our Facebook platforms. Thank you. To those of you viewing us on YouTube, I tend to forget you. My apologies. Thank you so much for staying tuned in, and we really do appreciate you. And let us all keep on celebrating our young women throughout the month of March. Of course, I am your host, Miss Edisa Eugene, and it was a pleasure being with you this afternoon. Have a great afternoon.
Welcome to Youth Voices with your host, Miss Edisa Eugene, where we focus on youth advocacy, youth empowerment in academics, entrepreneurship, sports, marginalized youth, and more. Tune in every Thursday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Youth Month 2022. Devant ensemble et toute jeunesse. Evolve. Growing youth for an inclusive and transformed society. Are you ready?
When I look at where